It is moving day here at the 2024 PDGA Junior Disc Golf World Championships presented by Innova. We are switching venues once again at this very demanding major. We're at the Whitehawk course this time. Again, Ace Run Productions bringing you this coverage on behalf of the PDGA. In the booth, it's Felix Vega, joined by Jennifer Allen.
Welcome back, everybody. What a long, exciting week. We are on the downhill stretch. And man, this group of girls have brought us just jam-packed action all week long. And I have a feeling it's not going to end just yet.
Yeah, it's been tight all the way through. I'm expecting this trend to continue. A very talented group once again on this lead car here on day 4. Let's take a look at the end of round 3 results.
Yeah, we have Kayla Hess jumping up here with another great round. And here we go. Whitehawk.
Yeah, Whitehawk.
Challenging first tee here.
Yeah, 270 feet up the gut here. Par 3, tight all around.
Yeah, those first 2 trees are so intimidating just right off the box. And we've got a gallery all behind us. These are 2 courses in this little area that are right together. So lots of people to watch. You got to hit the gap right out of the gate.
This is our 1:30 tee time in the FJ18 division. This is your lead card. First on the tee, from Bergen, Norway, Emilie Nesse.
Ida's been a staple on the coverage, just about on, I think, every round she's been on coverage.
I think so too. And just showing us skills, both forehand, backhand, putting, like very mature young lady here and an incredible golfer. Hitting that gap perfectly, and that disc just needed to get a hair lower to be going right towards the basket.
From Westport, Ontario, Canada, Rebecca Dawn.
Rebecca, another player that just seems experienced beyond her years.
And she's not been playing very long, but comes from a family who all loves the game. And with Dad putting them in a course on their land, I think this girl is going to soon be someone to maybe look into an FPO.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful
Third
shot
on the
there.
tee, from Columbia, Pennsylvania, Kayla Hess.
Kayla, new to latitude 64 this year, adjusting to the new plastic.
I think she's adjusting just fine. This lacing the tight fairway and getting a little bounce off that back tree.
And rounding out our lead card, from Callahan, Florida, Trinity Bryant.
Trinity back up on the lead card again. Told us yesterday she was kind of running out of gas. It's a long tournament, and you can definitely see that happening.
100%. And this girl has been training so hard. Oh, that was very unlucky. That was a beautiful drive. She's still right there in circle 1, but man, she was parked. But she trained hard for 3 weeks before coming, so that adds up.
Yeah, it's a lot of rounds. Nesse
Very
laying up there smart.
Play, yeah. And this is going to be interesting to see.
Ooh,
Just like that putt.
Yeah.
Wow, nothing like coming out of hole 1, just hitting it and showing the girls you're ready to play.
Immediately cutting into that lead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, it's a really fine line of protecting the lead or still continuing to be aggressive. You know, there's still a lot of golf left, but it makes you wonder. Another excellent birdie putt coming from Kayla. Does your strategy start to change as we wind down towards the weekend?
Yeah, you don't want to take your foot off the gas too early.
Exactly.
And go into protect mode here. So we're moving on to hole 2. This one a par 4, 550 feet with a Mando involved.
Yeah, they've stretched this out for these ladies. We used to play a much shorter hole. They're gonna try to get a nice, good hyzer shot out the first, landing to this little area where they can hopefully see the basket with an up shot underneath that huge, huge guardian tree on the right side. I think all the girls could hold hands and maybe get around that tree.
Yeah, that's a big one for sure.
So again, hitting the gap right off the tee and then getting it to hyzer off to the left is going to be a great spot. That was the basket we used to play to.
I was going to say, looks like there's a pin right there. Need some fade. That looks great.
Yeah, it looks about the same.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think they did an excellent job really designing these courses for the juniors and the divisions that are playing the courses. I mean, we have 8 and under all the way up to 18, so you really have to consider the tee pads and the distances, and I think the Tulsa group did a fine job of achieving that.
I spoke with a lot of parents this week, and none of them were saying, you know, oh, the course isn't fair, or this hole doesn't make sense for this division. It was all compliments.
Yeah, I feel like everything has went about as smooth as it could out here this week.
Yeah.
So trying for that low skip.
Oh, that massive
Did
tree.
it sneak around it, but she's going to have a look from the backside if her legs can stretch that far.
Yeah. Speaking of stretching.
Yeah, Trinity had a pretty rough lie. That's a great out from where she was. She is still going to have that and can save the par. You're going to see these low branches throughout the entire course. And they're not only just leaves. There's some really thick hardwood branches underneath those leaves. So you really need to throw a nice low shot like Kayla just showed us right there to make sure you're not getting knocked down way before you wanted to. Just sneaking under beautifully with that Penrose putter.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Finally dawned on me. EV7, Jen.
Nice approach there with the Invader.
Took us all week, but we're learning.
Yeah. And that right there is her Toro that Ida loves throwing.
Yes, it is. Such a great approach disc, whether backhand or forehand. Big bid, just a hair long. And again, just these girls giving them an attempt, but the putters are staying close for the tap ins.
Par there for Ida. I believe this is the same for Rebecca she's looking at here.
Yeah, I think this is a great par 4. 2 perfect shots and a good putt. This was a birdieable hole for sure.
I like holes like that where it challenges you to throw those 2 specific, well-executed shots. So if you make a mistake, you still can't be rewarded with the birdie. You have to earn it.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with pars.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to be birdied.
Pars all around. All right, and we're moving on to hole 3, a 340-foot par 3.
This is a very technical hole here that there's a very small gap on the right, or take that turnover shot there as you see the fairway on the left side. Basket's tucked just a little bit over to the right. Pretty spread out green. These trees are thin. You can kind of putt around them. Nice and flat.
A lot of protection though around that green.
Yeah, and it just is so shadowed, like it looks like there's all you see is a million trees. Yeah. Rebecca turning this one over just a little bit, but gets a good kick. She's gonna have a look.
That's a pretty good result for the shot.
It really was. She got lucky with that kick. Going with the turnover, Kayla's getting great slow fade over to the right side.
Wow.
Inside circle 1.
It's funny because hearing her dad go over the notes for this hole, she said to play it for par.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, your par is fine.
Yeah.
And it really is. You have to have a clean tee shot on this. And if you don't, you know you have to go for the par.
Yeah.
Ida is just a powerhouse, right? Like that went probably 100 past the basket. And then Trinity, another slow turning shot. just like the airplane landing.
Just gonna say.
So is her disc right by the basket.
Timed up so perfectly.
Okay, now this entire card, as well as a few from the chase card, have been showing great putts.
Oh, wow.
Like all these C2s are just so close.
They're all fearless. I love it.
They are. That's just part of being young, right? So Eden may have just a tiny bit of a gap back here.
It's a high one.
There it is.
It floats its way
Yeah,
back down.
perfect.
Kayla with a chance to cut a little bit more into that lead, and she does.
That she almost made that putt on hole 2. She would have been 3 for 3 out the gate. Very focused. Like,
Yes.
beautiful putt.
Good birdie there for those two ladies.
Okay, for those who don't know, there is the International Tulsa Airport is right across the street, so you will be hearing airplanes throughout the entire round.
Yeah. It's also why we don't have the traditional drone footage for this course, because we're not allowed to fly the drone that close to an airport.
Wow.
It doesn't let you take off.
Learn something new every day.
A couple of par cleanups here for our international ladies.
Like the friendships, you can just watch them growing all week long. So great.
Hole 4, 330-foot par 3. A little bit of a more open fairway than the last one, but still very tricky.
It is. White Hawk will kind of trick you into trying to shape a lot of shots, but most of them, if you throw maybe a mid or a fairway just low and straight, you're gonna have a look at the basket. So don't try to get too fancy with this one. Drive it in there. I don't know how long ago they cut in this basket placement, but this is a new placement from, I think, where the basket used to be. I know they cut in a lot of new holes for Red Hawk, so I didn't hear if this was a new placement. You can see the brush pile over there, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is new for this event. Another nice slow turning shot to the other placement.
Okay, yeah. Should have a pretty open approach from there.
It was funny, I heard some of the local guys be like, oh, you know, now our courses are so short. It's like, it's just for the week, buddy. Calm down. Everything will go back to normal. If they want it. I don't know. These courses have been incredible.
Yeah.
Another just power and great angle on the disc again.
Oh, that last tree.
That would have been under the basket.
Yeah, that was scooting up for sure.
So tricky little stance, having to reach around. You got a tree just in front of her on the right. So that kind of makes you feel like you got to pull and shoot around it. And she just pulled it a little too hard, but she's still going to have a look to save the par. Joey, awesome brother-in-law on the bag, always there with a fist bump, no matter good or bad.
Yeah. Just reinforcing some positive feedback there.
Absolutely. Caddies have been great this week. Working just a soft forehand over.
Okay, puts her in the circle. This for birdie.
It just dropped out of nowhere.
It did.
Without a wind. It's very still right now. Very hot. Very humid. Oh, another one that just dropped a hair too soon.
But you called it. Kayla's been all over the basket every hole.
Yeah, she came really close to a very hot start.
Yeah.
So all those are a little low. I think, I don't know, maybe getting hot already, like tired-wise. It's been such a long week. And physically is one thing, but mentally, you know, when you play this many days in a row, it really starts to get to you.
Plus all the different courses, you have to remember what you're throwing on each hole, at what course. Oh, and that one.
Yeah, this isn't our usual green for the girls. They're such incredible putters. So a couple of unfortunate bogeys there and a couple of par tap-ins. We'll head over to hole 4 and hopefully that'll change up.
Yeah.
Hole 5.
Hole 5, yeah.
Hole 5.
Hole 5, a par 4, 470 feet.
So So another placement shot, you want to either take this inside gap to land just in the sunshine, even in the shadows there is great. You can see the basket goes around underneath these really low branches. That's the theme here. Basket is straight ahead depending on where you're landing that first shot. There is a hyzer line over to the right as well. I love most of the greens though are very flat. You can really kind of get aggressive with it, and that's nice. So Kayla taking the hyzer line, getting a ton of distance and a great skip. Don't sit down, Kayla. Keep going.
Yeah, she was worried that was going to go too straight for too long.
It hyzered on her just perfectly. Let's see Ida be able to use a little bit of her distance strength on an open hole, and that is a crush of a drive. She doesn't even look like she's really putting a lot into it.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, the spin, the timing just has to be perfect. Trinity's going to be fine. This is a par 4, so she's got hopefully a look depending on where her stance is in those trees. Again, great height, punching out there to the placement area. Oh yeah, so Trinity got right behind this row in the middle. And this is where you have to think, okay, this is a par 4. Just get par. There's not a ton of these that'll be birdieable out here. A par for this round, I think, isn't going to be a bad score. We haven't seen them play this course this week, so I'm not sure what they would be averaging, but I think par is a great score because there's some very technical holes out here.
Yeah, and it's the only course that you get to play once. So
exactly. They had Hunter and this course they got to play one time. Really making these girls learn so many courses.
And there's still a final 9 at a new course that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Good chip up there for Ida. She's got a birdie look coming up.
Such touch with that putter, but hard ground right around the basket. That's going to scoot probably a little further than she wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, just catching up. Gotta look up. Just with the shadow and the sun and the shadows really mixing, all these leaves just blend together. Same thing there. And Kayla has a hat on, so she's telling Dad hush there. Like, duh, Dad, I didn't mean to hit that branch. But sometimes with a hat or a visor, you don't see those leaves. Oh, good basket.
Take that, Dad.
Yeah. That's how you get your daughter fired up.
Yeah. Just a touch low for Trinity there.
Basket, I guess, maybe a little hair high. Koozies usually are kind of close to the bottom of the cage there.
Good par save there for Rebecca. Playing even so far, like you talked about.
Yeah, I think that's going to be good. And getting birdies early is good because the back side of this course really has some tricky shots.
Okay. Ida with the birdie. One of only 4 on the day on this hole.
Looking around. Where's the next tee?
All right, and we're moving on to hole 6. Par 3, 285 feet. Trees everywhere.
Trees everywhere, but this is such a gettable hole. Again, focusing on just a nice, soft, straight shot. There's a hyzer line over here that you can just kind of knife it in and get around that last row of trees. Just hoping not to hit any of those guys, really.
Yeah.
This is a game of inches on this course, really.
Ida first on the box after birdieing hole 5.
So many of these shots would be really great if they were just a hair lower. The release, they're releasing them a little too high for these branches. Not Kayla. Look at that. If we need a little more stability, gonna give her a long look.
I'm wondering if the courses in Norway don't have quite as many low ceilings.
Yeah. I think they I think there's just a ton of really tall, skinny trees. I think the bark on the trees, you know, do go up a lot higher before the leaves. Oh, Trinity hitting one of those first availables.
She just seemed a little out of sorts so far today.
She does just look tired.
Yeah. That one getting away from her as well a bit.
And their tea times are right after lunch. You would have to think with it being hot, they probably don't want to eat a lot. And I honestly never really saw many of them snacking. I know that's kind of silly, but
yeah,
they're teeing off at 1:30. If you're not eating and it's hot, like, you're going to be drained. We have to fuel the body to keep the energy on hot days like this.
You nailed it. Trinity was actually telling Conrad that she wasn't used to these tea times, and because of it, she didn't take her normal lunch before because she didn't want to feel heavy. That's
funny. It makes sense. I've heard even several of them, you know, with their early tea times when they had that shotgun at 8, saying they couldn't eat breakfast. Yeah. So, I mean, look, and these girls are pretty tiny, you know, like, beautiful putt for Kayla. She's had a great round going so far. Knowing Kayla, though, she's still not satisfied with it. You're right. You're right. She is pretty hard on herself. Yeah. She just demands more. And like Virginia, she has a lot of major experience already at such a young age. Moving on to hole 7, 310-foot par 3 from the long pads for these ladies. Yeah, pushed them back to where they really have to get a very straight shot again, keeping it low, but demanding you to hit this very small gap. Once they get out to the open, they're gonna be able to exhale, but a lot of these shots really very technical off the tee. Kayla with her compass. And that was pulled, but great result. That's fine. As long as it sits, that's fine. Maybe not really a birdie run, but par's great. Yeah. You can really, if you get off, you can get into trouble quick. Sneaking by the tinier gap perfectly. Nicely done with that Mako 3. That will be a long run. She throws that Mako 3 a lot, and I've noticed that she'll throw it on hyzer, she'll throw it on straight shots, she'll throw it on turnover lines. The Mako is her favorite disc. She actually even made a tour series or a run of them with her stamp on it personally. Okay. You nailed that one. Look how much we picked up this week. Yeah. Yes, Mako is the go-to, Mako 3 for Rebecca. Trinity getting a lot more clean shot on that one. Very rewarding. Kayla going up in stability here, throwing the slammer. And powering at it. She's trying to get that skip in the basket. Yeah. Stays close. Perfect. It's pulled a little bit. It was coming right towards the basket, too. Just caught that last little branch on the left. Trinity with a good long look. Laying it up. Yep, smart play. Yeah, give her a couple good pars going. Get going again. Oh. And that's, settles. Yeah, that's one of those things. You always, you know, you don't like to hit low, but hitting high and bouncing off the tops of these baskets sometimes can be treacherous. Yeah, you get that trampoline effect. Beautiful save from Ida. Probably at least 22 feet or so. Get some itchies on the branch. We haven't seen too many putts that had to be dropped to the knee, so not a problem. Good focus. Didn't need to practice those. Yeah. Again, showing all the different skill sets. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you would think, man, I haven't seen any of this. Probably, you know, give it a bid, but not expect for it to go in. There we go. Getting through this front 9 pretty quickly. Yeah, we're already on hole 8, 225 foot. This is a fun one. Water on the right shouldn't really come into play. Unless you get a horrible kick, and let's hope that doesn't happen. But again, same theme, huge gap right in the middle, but must maintain a low flight the entire way. There's a little bit of forehand gap over there on the left side if you do want to try to keep it a little further away from the water. I guess if you really wanted to be, you know, aggressive, you could take the hyzer route over the water, but let's not try that.
Well, we're not all Jennifer Allen.
Yeah, just outside circle 1. Actually, the girls, we had a little bit of a backup. I think Rebecca tried to convince Ida to throw the hyzer skip with the Firebird off the pond.
Jeez. Let's see if she does it.
Yeah, here we go. I don't see a Firebird.
No.
But I do see a beautiful mid-shot to circle 1's edge.
There you go. A little bit of unfortunate ground play there again. That should have skipped her forward.
Hit like a stick or something. People always ask me why I didn't throw rollers with my power, and I was like, have you been to Oklahoma? There's always something on the ground or a tree root or whatever. So pretty easy to hit something out here. So just trying to lay this up for an easy par. Has great height on that and absolutely executes that approach perfectly.
Trinity with a long birdie look. Good bid.
So close. And the pond is right behind there, but I don't feel like they really thought about it too much.
No, you gotta really, unless you have like an aggressive spin putt.
Yeah.
Man.
Just inches on so many of these putts to really have a hot round going.
Ida keeping it even, literally, so far. And Kayla again, inches away. She could be 5 down through 8.
She really could. Like fully charging.
I'm a little surprised that this hole only saw 3 birdies on the day.
Wow. It's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
You should see the long tee. It's very intimidating.
Oh, I did. I walked by it. Yeah, it's scary. And wrapping up the front 9 here with this 275-foot par 3, hole 9.
Yeah, a little bit of a pond here on the left that really shouldn't come into play. There's actually a creek behind the basket that may come into play before that pond would. Pretty wide open. This is like the first huge open tee shot that these girls have had. I think the entire front 9. Some trees that kind of protect the basket a little bit, but this is really kind of could be a straight shot or forehand or hyzer that can really attack and run the basket for an ace. Let's see. We can have a Sports Center highlight here.
Yeah. Kayla up first, going wide.
Okay, see, here we go.
Oh, right by it.
You know,
And settles.
just maybe not hit that branch. That could have been in. Little early. Needed to hold on to that hyzer just a hair longer. It's kind of scary to do, to fully commit, making sure you follow through to aim about 50 feet to the right of this basket, just like Ida showing us way over there.
Oh, she's gone deep.
Such power. Backside. She said, oopsie. That's what she said. Oopsie, I went too far again. Yeah. Love these hyzer lines.
Oh, that was a close one.
I think we've had one ace in MJ 15 or 18.
Okay.
Kind of would expect to see a few more. Good
There's some-
koozie there, way not to make that roll.
Yeah, there's some gettable ones out here.
So many for all ages, honestly. There
Wow, what a
it is.
putt.
Finally got one to stay up high enough. She's been online all round. Way to break under that even mark to end the front 9.
They do a little, like shimmy celebration when she makes a putt.
And Trinity getting one to drop as well. Getting her back to 1 over for the front 9.
Mm-hmm. Kayla.
There we go.
3 down through the front 9.
Really making moves.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who's been on the chase card, I think, most of the week.
Yeah. Take a look at our front 9 results for our card here. You can see Kayla cutting into that lead now, 3-stroke advantage in favor of Ida. The rest of the ladies on her tail as well.
Yeah, and clean day, no bogeys. We're being all serious here.
Yeah, you can tell.
No fun.
It's been a fun week so far and plenty more fun to come your way. Make sure you head on back here for continuing coverage of the 2024 Junior Disc Golf World Championships.